Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing a first impression and review on a new foundation. So I have a couple of foundations from this brand, but I have one specifically that I really want to test out, and it is from DermaBlend. I don't know if you can see, DermaBlend Pro. When I went to the We Love That Makeup the launch party out in New York, I mingled with a lot of L'Oreal brands. I think it was, no, Shea Moisture was there. Was it DermaBlend was there, Vichy, La Roche-Posay was there, Essie, there was like a bunch of different L'Oreal brands. And I really kicked it off with the DermaBlend. She is like the top, like, she's like the, I don't want to say like manager. I don't really know exactly what her title was, but I know she was like super high, like as far as like, you know, the hierarchy. I don't know exactly what her title was, but she was so nice. She was so sweet. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I gave them my information so that way, you know, if they wanted to send me some products, they could. I hadn't heard from them for a while, and then just like last Thursday or something, you know, I wasn't feeling good at the end of last week. I still am like, but they reached out to me and said they had some goodies for me. So they sent me this nice little box of product. One of them was the Flawless Creator. It is a multi-liquid pigments. It is a foundation. If you guys would like to see a review on that, let me know down below if that is something that you're interested in. It is 33% high performance pigments, so it has a lot of pigment in it. And then they sent me 3 different shades because they didn't know exactly what my shade was, and honestly I didn't know exactly what my shade was, so I didn't know. And they also sent me their DermaBlend Loose Setting Powder, which I've heard really good things about. This is in the translucent formula, so it's white. So I'm excited to use that on myself and clients to see how it wears on, you know, black skin. And then they also sent me this foundation, which is the DermaBlend Blurring Mousse Camo Foundation. It is oil-free, medium coverage, and it also has some SPF. So the reason I'm excited about trying this foundation out is because it's a blurring mousse foundation. I love mousse foundations. Anything that says it's going to blur my pores or my skin, I am all about. So I am excited to see what this is. So they sent me 2 shades also. I'm thinking that this one's going to be a little too dark and this one might be perfect because I'm kind of at that point where I'm like a little still dark and a little too light. So I'm not completely winter yet, but I'm still not summer. But they sent me Amber 35W and Rich 80N. So they have the warm and also the neutrals, and also I'm sure cool foundation. So with this foundation, it claims, it says the blurring mousse camo provides medium coverage with a fresh mousse texture to fill in uneven crevices, enlarge pores, and camouflages bumps, which I have a few over here, and acne scars, which I have a few from the most recent bumps on my face, and rosacea and birthmarks. So it's supposed to pretty much give you a flawless canvas and be able to cover any and everything. So if this foundation works out to be what it claims, this is going to be like groundbreaking foundation. Like, this is going to be the best foundation because a lot of women, especially older women, once you hit 30s, you start to get wrinkles and lines and fine lines and smile lines and, you know, crow's feet and all this other stuff, and some women want that filled in. So there are primers that will help with that, but having a foundation that also doubles on top of your primer is going to be gold, you know? I'm not at that point, but still I have acne scars, I have some bumps, I have some pores, you know, so all of that. So I did feel this foundation when I was in New York, and it is really nice moussey texture. The other thing that it says, it's a breakthrough innovation, so it's kind of like a first of its kind. It says that resurfacing technology addresses both skin tone and texture. It shapes to skin's hollows instantly upon application for a uniform, even surface. This mousse camouflages imperfections and blurs blemishes. It says it's oil-free and breathable for an 18-hour wear and matte finish. So I am gonna wear it, not for 18 hours. It is right now, my watch isn't working, so let me look at my phone. So right now, It is 1:21, so about 1:30. That is when I'm going to be starting it. I want to swatch both shades for you guys so you guys can see the difference on me, because I know a lot of you guys shade reference. It is in a tube, which is going to be really nice for traveling, because you can travel with this. It is 1 fluid ounce. I don't know, is that too much? Maybe not. You can put it in your bag and won't have to worry about your foundation breaking. Like when I went to New York, I took my NARS and I had to bury it under towels and stuff, so it didn't break in my luggage. That would have been terrible. But this is the shade Amber 65W. It is really, really nice, you guys. This moussey texture is really nice. So that is that one. And then this shade is Rich 80N, which is gonna be too dark for me. I can already tell just from the little insert. Yeah, this is way too dark and more neutral. That reminds me like a cocoa. So we are gonna go ahead and use Amber because Rich is a little too cool. So I'm gonna pull my hat all the way back. So, no primer, you guys, just foundation. I'm going to use my Sigma round kabuki brush. This is the F82. I love using this brush for foundations, more like moussey cream foundations. And let's go ahead and see how this bad boy works. So this foundation this color is still a little off to me. I don't feel like it's my color at all, but we're just gonna test the foundation, okay? We're not gonna worry about how it looks, okay, guys? Okay, so it's on. Now I'm gonna blend it out. Oh yeah, this is not a good color. So I already know right off the bat, some people might not like this foundation because of it's a little more full coverage, especially how I applied it. However, it does give a really nice flawless finish. Oh, it just spit everywhere. Especially up in my pores. You can kind of see like right over here, there's my pores. This shade is more pink as well. It's not as warm as it claims. This is still way too light of a foundation. Like when I'm looking at these over here, these pigment drops, these two would be more of my color. So 72N or 60N, these two are a little more my color because this one's way too dark. But maybe not. Maybe I probably have to mix 72N and 75W. But anyways, as you can see, you guys, this shade is not the best, but the coverage is nice. It's also nice because it doesn't feel like foundation, like a liquid foundation. Like I have nothing on my hands, and whereas a liquid foundation you have to set with a powder. This is a foundation that I feel like you could put on and throw in a little concealer, set your concealer, and go out the door. Especially if you're a woman that likes coverage but doesn't like to feel like she has coverage, not like a MAC Fix Plus or MAC Studio Finish, like how that's like a little more thicker of a texture. This doesn't feel that thick. Like this is something that I would put on my grandma, you know, just to give a little coverage. You blend it out and then it doesn't feel like you have on foundation. I really like that about this foundation. I wish it was in my shade. It's unfortunately not, but we're just gonna blend the rest out and I'm gonna look like a mask, but you know, anything for the YouTube. Don't mind my eyebrows. My eyebrow lady like chopped off my arch and I'm not too happy with her. But yeah, I wish this foundation was in my shade because it is just way, it says it's warm, but it's like 2 shades too light for me. 3 shades too light for me. Like this is a shade that I would put on probably my best friend. She's lighter than me. But it looked way more warm on the hand, but it's just not on the face. So 65W, like, not our shade. Like, if you're my shade, it's not our shade. But I do like the coverage. Like, look at it right now, you guys. It looks very natural. I just wish it was my color. It feels like nothing. Like, it doesn't feel like I have any foundation on. It doesn't really look like I have foundation on, besides it not being my color. But other than that, those dark spots that I had, one coat, so to speak, covered it. I don't really have any complaints besides it not being my color, you guys. I like this foundation. Plus, I like a moussey texture. I was at the beginning a little apprehensive about it being a mousse because some mousses can feel heavy and kind of cakey and look shiny and things of that sort, but this one didn't do that at all. This DermaBlend doesn't do this at all. DermaBlend actually makes my favorite setting spray. It's their Set and Refresh Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I went to the bar, I did my makeup, sprayed my face, went to the bar, and by the time I got home, I was so beat. Like, I had no issues with that setting spray, so I'll use that when I need longevity. So I'm excited to see how this wears. It is about 1:30 still because it didn't take that long. Let's see. Yep, it is 1:28, so it is 1:30, and I'm gonna come back before I leave to go to Jack's parents' house, excuse me, for dinner, and let you guys know how this wears, if it oxidizes or anything like that, because yeah, let's see if it moves into my skin. So let's see. Okay, you guys, so it is now 5:57, so I was done with this video at 1:30, and so it's been about 4.5 hours since I filmed, and I thought that this foundation would get better over time. I thought it would oxidize, I thought it would look better. Overall, Amber 35W is just not a good shade for me. I don't know who it would be a good shade for because did I scratch myself? Oh my lord. Because it is very, very, very like pink-ish. It's just not a good foundation shade. However, I liked the foundation at the beginning. I also didn't set it or conceal or anything like that, but this is just foundation on my skin and it looks oily. My mom said I look like a grease ball. She said I look like I was in a bottle, or I put a bottle of Crisco on my skin, so she didn't like it. I just can't get over the shade. The shade is just all bad, especially for a woman of color, especially for this being the deeper, darker skin tone ranges. It's just way too pink for our undertones. However, I like the formula, I like the actual foundation and what it claims, blurring the pores, filling in the lines, things of that sort. Over time now, I feel like it has started to separate. Like, it doesn't look really good up close. It started to break up around my nose, and all I've done was eat lunch, lay on the couch, and lay on the couch. Pretty much, I just watch YouTube videos all day. So I'm gonna get up close for you guys so you guys can kind of see. This is really, really, really up close. If you can find your shade in this foundation, I would recommend it, because if I had this shade in my foundation, I would definitely wear it. I love the coverage of it and the blurring and things like that, but I just don't, the shade is just terrible, terrible, terrible for a black woman. And I definitely thought it would oxidize over time, but it didn't. You guys see? Overall, you guys, if you can find this foundation in your shade, it is a great foundation, especially if you are a woman that wants something that you can quickly put on, that you can use with either a compact sponge, a brush, or even a beauty blender to sheer it out. I loved how it felt right after I placed it on my skin. The texture, it doesn't transfer. So if you're one that like loves foundations that doesn't transfer. It's great for that. I felt like it looked very natural on my skin even though the color wasn't correct. And it also doesn't feel very heavy. As you can see, over the course of 4 hours without setting it with anything, you will start to get oily if you are oily like I am. But if you do the techniques that I did in my how to keep your skin from your oils from breaking through, then you won't have any problems. So I'll list that video at the end of this video. But overall, this foundation wasn't bad. I would recommend it if you can find your foundation. Also, if you want to see a review on the new Flawless Creator foundations by DermaBlend as well, these are multi-use liquid pigments, let me know about that because I would love to do a review on this one and a wear test on that one. But other than that, I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye.